you join us at the beginning of a new game with Australia on a pretty rough map, I gotta say. I always like playing Shuffle and see where it goes. You know, it's more enjoyable. When you've played this game as many times as I have, this is a bit of a side point, replayability is a huge factor, and this game has many ways of doing that. And one of the best ways I found to be able to do replayability in this game is just random maps. So sometimes you get good maps, sometimes you don't. This one's a little tricky, but that's fine. The point I've come here today to tell you is I really love being able to do things in order, and sometimes things don't quite work as you would expect them to. Usually, to get a Pantheon, you need 12 faith. And we can see that we have 13.6 faith, which is of course 1.6 more than the required amount. However, you can see here, accumulate 12 faith to found a Pantheon. I really hope that in Civ VII, when it asks for 12 faith, and I have at least 12 faith, that I'm able to just press a button here or something, and it will allow me to purchase the Pantheon. Because I have the faith. That's the only requirement, really. Like, you can't think of anything. You don't have to have religion yet. If anything, you need this to make a religion. You know, it's not a big deal, but it is a bit of a big deal when it comes to boosts, because, you know, like, I'm a bit tight now. I only have this and this to be able to work on. I don't really want to work on this anymore, because this will close the gap. This gap won't be the same. This little room here won't always be there to get the full bonus of the civic boost, rather. And the same thing here, I only have a few turns really to work with to get maximum boosts off. And of course, I very much like to be clear, efficient, and make the most of all the boosts I can. And I should by all means be able to purchase Pantheon to boost this and get it online so I can start working on this was already boosted. But unfortunately, this game has a few errors, has a few issues that you just need to be aware of. If you're planning, you know, and you're like, okay, I'm going to do this for a couple of turns, that for a couple of turns. Just be aware that maybe not all things work exactly how you would expect them to. So, just a little pointer here. Hello, I'm here to talk about glitches. This is a very simple glitch, but it occurs in the trading window. It's very strange. Basically, I want to befriend Mbanza. Currently, we have 6 to 5 +1 overall relationship, and I want to get it to +5 because that's usually the threshold for getting a friendship. And to do that, I want to give him some gold. However, for whatever reason, when I click on this gold like this, and I will only give him this kind of gold, not this, because it's easier and you get more for your money if you give it direct, straight up. This won't work, and it's like, why is that? I don't know what's happening. If you have this kind of problem, if you run into this, it's a very simple solution. All you have to do is ask for one of these. Then it will ask you here, never mind, or what would it take? Now, it's put gold into your side of the trade. So from here, you can just increase it as will, you can use the arrow, you can put in, say, 50 straight up instead of having to click that 30 odd times, and then give this. This way, I'll be able to have a total of 11 to the 5, which as you can see is a total of +6 now, and hopefully in the coming turns, he will become as friendly as our other neighbor, Alexander. So, what do we have here? Well, in a very tight enclosed space, I have 3 galleys. 3 galleys, which are way too many galleys than I normally like making in a game anyway, all stuck in 4 tiles. It looks really silly, doesn't it? Now, you might wonder, how the hell did this come about? Well, maybe the clue is the spearman. That's right, I used an apostle to get rid of a barbarian camp, which was sit right on this tile. And obviously, with that, there were 3 galleys on these 3 tiles and so on. And the glitch, or at least the inconvenience that you have to kind of be mindful of, revolves around, what do I do with these galleys? What the hell are these galleys doing for? If we have a look at our units, I believe, we have a look at our unit expenses, you can see that each galley costs -1. Which is, you know, unfortunate. I only have 55 coming in anyway. And 1 is not too small to ignore. Especially when it's 3 of them. How the hell do I make use of these? I can't exactly go fight anything. There aren't anything to fight. I can't move. These tiles, by the way, these frozen tiles, cannot be changed. They will be here till the end of the game. That's how that works. So if they're not going to be of any use, can I even dispose of them? Well, if it's this unit, I can indeed delete it. Or if it's this unit, I can indeed delete the unit. But that is because in this game, for whatever reason, and this is the inconvenience, you can only delete units if they're at full health. However, these 3 units are all damaged. They can't get full health. Unless I wanted to settle here, which is a bigger inconvenience, because why the hell would I want a city on nothing but snow? That would make no sense. I wanted to get rid of this barbarian camp. The easiest way to do that was to do this. But if you notice, on each of these, there is no... Well, this one in particular, because this one still has movement. On the action tiles, there's move 2, there's no heal, because it can't heal outside its home territory. Naval units can't heal outside home territory. A land unit could, but a naval unit cannot. It can skip its turn, it can go to sleep, it can alert, whatever. But if we open up here, all it can do is auto-explore in this quadrant of 4 tiles. It's not exactly going anywhere with the auto-explore, is it? It would be in that place, in this little area here, the auto-explorer, where the delete unit would also be. But because, as you see, delete unit here, it's not, none of them can ever reach full health, I'm going to have to be stranded with these 3 units eating 3 gold a turn for the rest of the game. Unless I choose to make some kind of city here, which obviously I never would, I have to just sit these all. Well, those 2 I can't do yet. Alert this, or maybe not even alert it, but put it to sleep. And put those 2 to sleep next turn, and just forget about them. Hello and welcome as you join me in another game of Civ VI. Today I want to talk about a strange anomaly that I found. I don't know if you'd quite call it a glitch per se, but it's certainly very peculiar. So, we have a government. Our government currently is autocracy, and we have very much settled in there 4 policy cards, including Diplomatic League. What Diplomatic League gives us is a first envoy that you send to each city-state counts as 2 envoys. Okay, so great. Let's look at our envoy situation with various city-states. As you can see, we have made very good use of it. All these 4 have been benefited by that Diplomatic League. However, we also want to benefit Nazca. Now, obviously, the easy thing to do is to just put 1 in there right now and confirm. But what if you weren't particularly aware of that at the time? What if, like me, you only figured that out after you decided to change your government? I'm currently on a tech tree. I know from being the only one that we haven't found yet that this particular unresearched tech is for industrial zones. Of course, very useful. So I want to beeline there as quickly as possible. We have 2 turns for castles, but if I got the Berserk boost, that would speed it up by a turn. So why not, eh? The opportunity's there. So, if we try to change government to monarchy, you get 2 bonus points, era score, and I'll cover era score in a different video. But we haven't changed any of these cards, right? They're all still in here. So you would think they're all still active. Even if you change governments, we haven't exactly changed our policies. That's the boost that we were talking about. So now I'll try going to NASA. Isn't that strange? It didn't give us the boost. And the only reason why I can imagine it didn't give us the boost is we haven't finalized what this government will now be with the additional 2 policy cards. And that even though this policy card is in here and has been here since the beginning of the turn, it is now no longer counting, and presumably neither is anything else, until we finalize that monarchy with 2 other cards is going to be the government forward. Now, like I say, many interpretations as to whether this should be the way it is or not, because, you know, I can understand, I haven't finalized what these are, we don't know what our government is, it's a little bit of limbo, but it does seem a bit illogical that you have the situation where you've literally had this since the previous turn, and it no longer counts as long as you're in this state of flux. It's very strange. So I've added it to the glitches section. Hello, I want to discuss something which is a little bit of a graphical glitch in the game. Nothing particularly major, but just something to be on the lookout for in case it happens. And also, it's kind of sad because it's also a mark of not shame but failure, and it requires some more work. So over here we have a dam made by Aksu, or maybe Urumqi, by the enemy AI, and they managed to finish theirs before I tried to finish mine over here. And as a result, because I tried to build my dam on a tile that actually has niter, as you can see in the details, you can see the niter shown as the white clumps, but what you can't see is, of course, the niter symbol. You know, this symbol, this niter symbol, you can't actually see on this tile anymore, which is a bit of a strange graphical glitch. But what's even more sad about it isn't just that this is my industrial zone, and it won't be getting the buff now from that because it failed, but also I had stock of niter coming in, because if you have a district that's built, any district, on a tile that then later gets researched and found to contain a certain strategic resource, you will be able to access that strategic resource effectively for free. So therefore, in the coming turns, I'm going to need to get a builder so that I can come along, build a mine here, and resume covering that niter that we have now lost our supply to. So far we've discussed parts of the game that are more of just a straight up programming error and just a little bit of folly, and is very easily correctable. And this is about how much growth a city is receiving once you particularly chop, say, a marsh or rice, in this case, bonus source. It's currently 4-1 and +5 surplus, so we're doing real well. Watch what happens when I press this chop button to harvest the rice resource from the plot. For whatever reason, it has this understanding that it's going to starve in 5 turns. Do not be alarmed. Don't panic. It's fine. It's all good. And it's easily solved. All you have to do is go back to this. Currently saying 5 turns starvation, which makes no sense. You can see quite clearly it has +18. By the way, each unit of population requires 2 food to survive. So it needs 10 food to survive so that it's not in starvation. And we're double that. You know, 9 is the point when it starts to starve, not 18. So if we just simply circle around here, now we get a far more accurate value. Far more accurate. I don't know what the 1.7 is about. Again, strange. Leave it alone. One more turn and it'll go up to 6. Hello. This is something I noticed that is quite silly, but it's something to look out for, because you never know what the game knows until you check something like this out. So I'm playing as Congo, and Congo are one of the rare civs that have a neighborhood specialty. And the specialty of the neighborhood is that it builds on specifically rainforest or wood tiles. I'm going to try building it here, but you will notice that they haven't remembered to get rid of this warning, which would normally be the case. Not actually getting rid of the rainforest like it's telling you to. So if you just do this, you can see that it hasn't actually got rid of any rainforest, but it still thought you would. And you just gotta be wary. Like with this game, not everything is programmed as you would like it, or as I would like it. And some things are a bit confusing because they've forgotten to take care of every niche corner case scenario. Hello, in this part of glitches I want to discuss unit movement. Unit movement can be very strange, and yes, there are definitely some things that can be easily missed by the eye, but then there are other things that just don't seem to have any reason at all, and that's why I want to put it under glitches here. So, what am I talking about in this particular case? we have our own apostle, very nicely over here. This is not adjacent to, like, you see this place? You can't go from this tile, for instance, to either one of these directly. You'd have to go to here or here, because there's this rocky area, which is like denoting a cliff face that you can't obviously walk down. It's not like a beach. But this is clearly a beachy area, right? Should be no problem at all. And you can even see that the movement, it says here, for movement, very easily able to just go down and knock this guy out. You can see major victory there. By the way, do not trust that. That can be a lie as well. But it's clear here that with this apostle, by the way, religious units, and possibly land units too, just general, are far weaker in the water than they are on land. It's not their preferred terrain, they're land units. Religious units are effectively land units. But this should be an easy kill, right? Major victory, this guy, -7, adjusted base strength when embarked. Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. This guy should be easily killed, right? Just go from here to here, no problems. Look what happens. As soon as I am holding the button, it's saying, oh no, I want to go across like this. Why do you want to go across like this? If you're going to do it, then do it. Okay, I don't mind whether you go like this, this, and this, or whether you go directly. But I don't know why you don't want to just go directly. It's obvious you could easily go directly from here to this tile without any problems. There's no blockage like the cliff face or anything like that. The coast is right there. There should be no problem, just go directly here. Watch what happens. Of course, because of zone of control that this apostle is inflicting on this one. But as you see, I only asked to go directly from here to there. And as we can see, it should be fairly clear and easy to go directly from here to this. This would be a good opportunity. My current religion is depleting. If I kill this unit, this might be boosted, as well as maybe some of the others are boosted. But this one in particular is on the downslope. I want to boost this one by killing this. This is a free kill. This should be no problem. And yet the game cannot realize that. Forces my apostle to go this way, even though I chose him to go into the water, and ends his turn without doing any attacks at all, allowing this apostle to get away because of the zone of control. Like, I really hope, no game is perfect, but I really hope a bunch of different things are fixed in Civ VII, and I'm hoping to get these videos out before then to show you exactly the kind of things that, you know, pop up in a regular game and have to be dealt with. And unfortunately, in this case, it's just a missed opportunity. It's silly. It's ridiculous that you can't just do what I asked to do, but the game says no. So there you go. Hello, you join me in the late game here as I'm about to close up yet another victory. Woo! But the point is, I want to talk about the glitches and the weird graphical glitches that actually have some functional problems attached to them. So, we are, as I say, late game. Climate change has already taken hold. We have a whole bunch of tiles that are actually flooded, yet you wouldn't know it by looking. Because this one, for instance, is submerged. It doesn't look it though, does it? So, if we click on this, one of my favorite things to do, by the way, especially towards late game, especially for any cities that might need help growing, is to build fisheries all around with Liang. Kind of similar hopping situation as Amani and city-states and Vision. But, the point is, I would love to be able to build a fishery. I've been building fisheries all over the place. I'd love to build a fishery on this tile. Let's see if we can do that. It says we can. Okay. How does that make any sense? Well, it allows us to do that. I was not expecting that. But hey, it's still a strange-ass glitch, because look at it. He literally got a fishery in the middle of land. Well, at least it allows us to do it. But, as you can see, just yet another glitch I wanted to show off, because holy hell is that weird looking. Even this, look at this. This is from our temple of whatever, Halicarnassus. Yeah, this one right here. Yeah, mausoleum. Halicarnassus, sorry. And how this is also submerged, so presumably we can do this as well. And this might give us more, just like another fishery over here. Like, what is that about? Anyway, just wanted to show that off. You join us here again for some more glitches. This game is full of them. It's kind of crazy. I really think they didn't program the whole coastal erosion particularly well. Maybe it was an aftermath. Was it even in vanilla? I'm not even sure. So maybe that's why it's such a bit of a mess. But it can all be easily compensated for. So as you can see at the moment, if I try using this builder to go to this tile, yes, all my builders can embark. That's how I've been able to make all these sort of improvements on the sea and all that stuff. There's no reason why I shouldn't be able to go into that tile, right? To be able to make this improvement. But funnily enough, if I choose to actually buy the tile that it's not letting me go on, if I then try to select the builder and go again, hey, Puesto, fantastic. It allows me to do the thing. A very simple, easy to fix situation whereby the builder will indeed find that they can go onto this tile, even though initially they don't seem to think so. But it's funny to notice these things. Maybe these sort of things can be ironed out in Civ VII. We'll have to see.